Alright then. So step 3. Let's take a quick look at our notes and see where we're up to. So I have got the GitHub API. I think we need to do that next. And use danger access token, get a rendered README, and get the changelog. So those are our next 2 steps. So the first thing we need to do is add dependencies. So yarn add at maybe it's like octo there it is. octokit/rest. Okay. So this is going to add a dependency for AutoKit. If I recall, types get shipped with that, so we don't need it. If we go back to our webhook, we have get the GitHub metadata, check the GitHub, there we go, errors, fails out. Well, we're going to have enough details now to actively create our own we're going to create our own API client for GitHub. So we're going to bring it in. So I bet it's something like GitHub from at octokit/rest. Let's validate that it does what we think it is. It has no default export, so that's yep. So it should look like that. Yep, that's the one. So let's make a client. So const API equals new GitHub. Yep. So let's give it a better name. AutoKit REST API. Let's just call it AutoKit. So a new AutoKit. It's gonna have set options. So does it need any? It'll need an access token probably. So I'm gonna show the types up on the side. What does it take to create one of these? Oh, we don't necessarily even need that. So it'd be like API to authenticate of everything. Yeah. So the object that's in authenticate is like ID token. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna need this token. Where can we get one? Do I have a danger one? That's perfect. So I'm gonna take this out. Call that this string here. This is one that I use. This is one that I use for danger all the time. So it doesn't just accept that. It needs to be. It also needs to include a type. Type can be basic OAuth token, so our integration, so we're using a token. Cool. So we created a authenticated API, and we're gonna also create a repo reference. Maybe we don't need that actually. Let's see where we go. See where we go about it. So the first thing we want to do is try and get the README. So API repos readme. Get perfect. Get README. So what does that entail? There's ref repo. So we don't need a ref because we're just going to use. No, we do need a ref. Let's be super sure of ourselves. The ref it can come from the webhook, so that's webhook JSON commit, right? Then we're gonna need the repo. So the repo is. See, I'm not convinced that the repo is just right. Yeah, owner and repo. So that's the name of the repo. So we can do gh details dot repo, and owner is gh details dot owner. There we go. Okay, so this is an asynchronous call, so readme equals await. Okay, that should actually get us a readme. So I think at this point we're gonna need to console log this out. because we did a lot of our stuff with tests earlier, and it would be nice to actually validate that the stuff that we're expecting is correct. So I'm going to rerun this. So I need to yarn build, which will compile TypeScript, and then I need to run yarn start. That should launch our server. We have our curl up there, which I don't know how to send the right JSON though. You have to go back and take a quick look. Curl post. So, I forgot. This was a pretty great overview. This passes a file, which could be pretty good. Data from standard in. It's a pretty good example. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Yep. Okay, yeah. So it's gonna be something like this. What's that at do? Is that at minus? Yeah. Okay. That might be a little bit wrong, but we'll see. So we need to do a JSON for the working. We need a working pod spec, and we need the trunk webhook JSON. So it'd be like this. The only thing that we care about actually is data URL, although later on it uses the commit, so we need to set that. So that's going to be data URL. This has got to go to a real working pod spec. We do have one lying around, so let's read data. None of those are what we need. So we can just get CocoaPods and pick one up. So something that will work. OR stack view is my go-to library for stacking views together before Apple made it. So we need the raw URL for this. Let's go do that. Great. We also need a reference, and I'm pretty sure, was it reference? Thing we used here, so it's commit. We're going to cheat and just write master, because that's how it's going to be used. And then we're going to pass that to the webhook. Okay, so that's not great. So it definitely called it. So what's this? If the webhook JSON does not turn into that. Alright, I don't actually know what's going on, so I'm just going to throw a debugger in there. So yarn build again, and I'm going to run node with a debugger attached. So instead of doing yarn start, I'm going to do that manually. I'm going to say inspect. That'll load it up. You can only really use the Chrome debugger, so Chrome inspect, open node DevTools, and when I run this, it should automatically connect. Yep, there we go. Okay, so I can send this. Alright, so what do we have for our request.body? According to this, our body is completely empty. Yeah, wreck. So it's an incoming message, its body is an empty bit of JSON. So that's not great. Let's go back to this curl thing again, take another look. So it's doing curl slash data slash this, but this bit here isn't a post, right? So let's also false post it. So that'd be like that. Oop. That's not what I copied and pasted, is it? No, it isn't. It's a -x post. Okay. Oh, the debugger needed to continue. So the second time through, body is still empty, request is still nothing. Huh. Okay, that's not great. Just gonna throw that one out there. Definitely. Look, hey, that had a root now. Oh, the res had a root. So let's see what we got next. How do I make it? do we make it post this JSON then? We could try make a file and then try upload it. We could verify a little bit earlier in the sort of like, can we? Server.ts. It's like, I mean, I think it's safe to assume that this is working. Maybe we need to send it with a JSON header. Not actually too sure. How does it, why is it like just posting something and validating that's the bit that's kicking my butt? Okay, so they do that, but that's probably let's through this. Yeah, we should definitely include that. This content type JSON. Hey, something happened. Something broke. Maybe this JSON is not legit, so let's have a look at that. We have that closes. Yeah, this is not JSON. This is JavaScript. Great. And body is correct. Fab. Cool. Gonna disconnect the. Okay, this is good. Okay, this is great. I mean, it's an error, but it's definitely a step forwards in my opinion. So let's take a look at what's going on here by throwing a debugger in later down the thing. Alloy says that there's a way to set a debugger from Chrome, and he's probably correct. But one thing at a time. So rebuilding. I'm almost at a point where I'll maybe create a watcher, so it'll just rebuild when I press save. But until then, let's keep sending some data. Like I got my OK back. Debugger is called here. So the webhook commit is master. GitHub details.repo is the full URL, which is not what we want. We want the name probably there. Yeah, let's go change that to name. There we are. Debugger saved the day, and we have to. Yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to start a watcher. All right. So I just want to make sure that when things are happening, yarn tsc-watch. Pretty sure that's the command. Run the terminal in here. So yarn run watch. That's definitely not the command. I wonder what the command is then. Yarn tsc -help. That's there, --watch. Probably goes before. Let's see if it goes before. Well, before what? That doesn't make sense. This feels right. Do I need yarn, by the way? Why is it trying to run a command called watch? Oh. Build watch. Great. Okay, I'm gonna hide that terminal. And now I can always just run it. So that's working. I can do my post. Great, and that is the contents of the README in base64 encoding. Perfect. Cool, so we are a little bit closer to actually getting to where we want to be. And we've verified. Well, we verified it like integration level testing, but we haven't actually wrote any tests to prove our theory, and that's gonna be Matt's full name. Okay. All right. Next step. We have this README. We'll have to deal with that. We have all of this, which we also have to deal with. I think it's time at this point to move this all into a new function. So we're gonna have a new pod spec thing. We're gonna have. Let's create this. So it's like API.ts, which will export cons create GitHub API, and it's only gonna really do a little bit of work. And its actual work is going to be this. So we can move that away into that file API. Yep. In here. Cool. Yep, we're gonna need this. You're not actually called OctoKit, so I put OctoKit go away. Cool. Now we got an API generation. Great. That moves that out of that main thing, and now we need to start saying. I think I'm gonna move. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely move this to another function. So this is now gonna be get. Right. Okay. This one's gonna be about uploading. Yeah, upload readme.ts. And we're gonna have the same thing for changelog. So maybe that could be upload textual metadata. Doesn't feel right. Text files. Still doesn't feel right. Let's call it readme. Then later maybe we can change it to changelog if needs be. So step one is gonna be gonna have a function. It's gonna be exportable. We'll call it upload readme, but you know, I'm open to better ideas. It's gonna have an API come into it, so this is gonna be whatever. Is it just called GitHub? Right. What's it called? OctoKit? OctoKit? Let's just find out what its type is. Class GitHub, lowercase. Upload readme. It's gonna come in with a GitHub. This hopefully. Baka. So the way that we pull this out is by saying that we get this. And we also, maybe we can pull it out of this, so it'd be like octokit.github. Octogit. That should really be exported. Otherwise it can only work via type inference, which I mean you can use, but like if I just call it that, what does it imply? Wouldn't it imply? I guess it would imply that would work. Why did I export interface for the? A little bit confused. Just gonna throw that one out. I mean, it does export that as a default, so maybe that is what it's called. So let's just see what the code looks like. Okay, so that is correct. Okay, so this is going to have the responsibility of uploading to S3 and converting a README into like real from the base 64 encoding to the real HTML, and we'll figure that one out. So we need Smooth Webbook here. I feel like we're using it a bunch. This is the code to pull it out. So not only do we need the API, we're gonna need the GitHub reference. Huh. Look at that. Using two different objects already. So this is going to be GitHub details. So maybe just repo is a good name for this. What did I call this? GitHub details. Get a good metadata. Yeah, it's a really long one. Okay, you can be auto. You need to be exported. Okay, now we can get you in. You're an asynchronous function. This ref, yeah, it ain't good to not include this somehow, so maybe we could expand the GitHub details for PodSpec. It does include branch reference, which is not strictly what we're actually after. Okay, let's just be a badass here. Alright, this is we'll add ref to a GitHub details and the previous one. So we actually pull. So if there is a GitHub details, then we set GitHub details.ref equals webhook json.commit, and then we'll pass that down through the tree. So this README is gonna have, what's it called? Git. No, it's called something. Doing it through upload README. It's not. So it's gonna have an API. We'll deal with that in a sec. It's gonna have GitHub details. Yes. So let's generate an API, which would be called API. Create GitHub API. Yeah, that feels right. Don't need anything. Now we upload the README. Cool. We managed to have basically the same amount of code. But at least we've abstracted it out a little bit, so that when we get around to making more of these things, it'll make more sense. Okay, so uploading README. Let's take a look into this. So these details can come entirely from Repo now. So looking at this data that we got, the meta. So data includes a content, which is this. I feel like I've dealt with this in parallel, so I've also done it somewhere else. So like that content. Yeah. Get content, pulls it out. Yeah, feels alright. Doesn't feel great. That's a good function though. Maybe I'll include that. That's an example of what it looks like. Transpiler doesn't matter. Yeah, it's not what we're looking for. It's just not. It's not in this. It's not in this. Let's check out Perl. Perl. Basically, no one's done it. So maybe it's something around the base. I'm gonna type base 64. I'll find something. Yeah, this is what we need. Like GitHub file contents. We're gonna need this. Wait, but this. What API does this use? That uses my quick GitHub API that I still live with today. Looks like we can just create a buffer and just pass it in. So const buffer equals new data. So that's going to be the readme data.content. So this is going to be the readme. That's not a commit. That's a ref. Yep. Okay, cool. This gets it. This turns it into something useful. So it's more like readme response. And this is now readme. Cool. And let's also console.log this out. We'll watch it one more time. Okay, cool. Kill you, start you back up because it's watching, so it should permanently be changing. Sends the data, that is the markdown. Perfect. So it's not actually the markdown that we're interested in, if I recall. I want to see if I can get the rendered HTML version of it. I mean, I still do need to render some markdown to HTML, so eventually I'll need the dependency of it. Let's just double check the API. Maybe free. Maybe that should be enough. Yeah, goes pretty close. Read me. Attack it. No, that's not it. What was that read? What? But isn't that the name? That's how you get to it, right? Repos that get readme. Huh. Get. Can't even find it. The params only are those free, so it doesn't look like I can like ask specifically. But I feel like generally with those things you can. What is going on? There's something in here. It's one of these other ones. Ooh, pre-receive hook. So, blocks, limitations, releases, pages. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be that. Let's try this again. Like, you think it would be under community? Profile metrics. That's kind of useful. We do kind of want some of that. That's the license. That's still not the README. It's still not the README. I mean, contents. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, I'll take it. Okay, cool. We can send a custom media type for HTML, and we'll get the HTML away. Perfect. That also means that URLs will work in the way that we expect. So we need to include custom media type. So octokit-rest request media. So that's at the start. I wonder if there's any examples. Yes, there is. Whoa, hi. Read me? Ah, close. Do any of these? Maybe I can just, maybe it's easier to actually clone the repo and take a look. Media type. So maybe we could, nah, it's just a bit, it just doesn't feel quite right. What's it called? Was it actually called media type? They call it custom media, so maybe it's just with a space. It just seems that, like, one mention of it seems really low. Let's try that. It's GitHub media type, metadata get page. Smoke test? No, that's a full integration test. That's not doing that. Okay. You can add accept to the params of it, so that's perfect. So this will also include and it's not this, it is this. Headers. And terminate our string. So it's not going to be happy about this. Which is an interesting thing because, I mean, it's accepted, but it's not in the types. So maybe they all need to optionally allow for that kind of thing. Considering the guy that runs it's great, but he's not a TypeScript person, so he just happily to accept people's improvements. So let's restart our server and see if they give us HTML, and then we should really start writing some tests. It doesn't look like HTML to me, buddy. We'll look. Headers, accept HTML. Headers, get content, accept HTML. Is that what they really say? Contents, right? Get custom media type. For markup, you can spot the HTML. subject to support the following version. That's not. That didn't work. I don't know who to blame. You know? Maybe it could be. Yeah, I'm not sure. I do. Quest media, this feels weird. I mean, I could just make a one-off that includes it. Let's just see what if that fixes it. API.request. Is that in the init? Yeah, it is. It's not great. Alright, let's just do it straight. I feel so conflicted. We should really get this. We should really do it this way properly. Why does that not work? Okay, we're gonna. It's time to get out our debugger again, I guess. We're gonna need to go into RESTKit and find the point at which some work happens. So we need to find the place where the request is made. Looks like this, and so you just throw in a debugger. Gonna rerun this, run it with inspect, which is already attached, so that's great. So I'll recreate my inspector. No? Chrome? What was that? Yeah, okay, must have typed out. Open that up, kill this. Damn it. Okay, let's give it another shot. So I can just rerun this JSON. Yeah. Okay. So what's been sent? The headers. I feel like that's ignoring my headers. Right? It's not in that list. It just says accept fee-free. Can we go all the way back to where we actually do our work? No, we can't. No, we can't. I mean, that is where I... It's in the... Oh. Boo. Lowercase versus uppercase. That's why you throw in a debugger. Okay, let's give it another shot. You need closing, you need running. I just need to send some JSON. Like, these are the sort of things that we'd never really found out in the test. That's great, that looks good. Type. First argument must be a string, blah blah blah. I wonder where that comes from. Let's try. Wait, what? Let's try again. Alright, let's kill our debugger. I killed that one. I need to kill one here. Restart. Yeah, I don't necessarily need to restart, but upload readme. It's not happy about this. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Then we rerun. Ah, something crashed. So it must be this JSON that we're getting back. Do we do anything? Is it this buffer? need a better, like, one-click start a debugger thing. So I haven't figured out what that should look like yet. Chrome crashed? It's funny, like I could try maybe even loading the React Native debugger. It is literally just the Chrome inspector and a fancy thing. It may just automatically connect. No, 8081, what is this? 9229.
Yeah.
Killing Chrome. Pretty hard.
Yeah. You want me to?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm having trouble
Alright.
because all the options are closed.
Cool,
Or
that's
open.
up.
Sorry, open something.
Alright, let's
So I
do
can't edit
it.
for
Yep.
nonsense.
So, readme. It is just data dot. No need for any of the. See, that's now readme equals data. Okay, cool. That should be fine. Console log readme. Yeah. No. Readme response to data. Nice. Okay. And you got some nice background noise too. Let's do it one more time and verify this. And send along our data. Okay, that's our HTML. Perfect. Alright, next step is we're gonna need to upload this to S3. So I've never done this with Node.js, so we're gonna have to learn it ourselves. So npmjs.com and S3. Free. Free. S3 image. No. Is it AW? High level. Alright, that's the kind of thing I'm looking for. Create an S3 client with some credentials. And you upload a file. That looks pretty simple. I wonder if they have. I'm looking to see if they have like a promise-based implementation too. So, bunch of things. Doesn't look like it. The egg S3 is. Don't know. Okay, so we'll do one more check. So S3 uploader has types, which is always a winner for me. So let's just see what S3 uploader is before we resize upload images. I don't really need that bit. Can upload example, create a client, AWS creds. Yes, this is doing more work than I need. So, what does it look like? So they use the official SDK, which is not unreasonable. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Right. So, run. And, okay, so we can see if they've got any types. Oh, that's great. Right, it says you don't need it, so that's good. Okay, so how does this work? We import the S3, get the bucket, and the key is the name. That's for creating a bucket. So that. Alright, we're just gonna roll with it. Okay, so we're gonna need to import that. So import AWS from AWS SDK. What's going on here? This exists, right? Yeah. So it exports this. It's all capital there, so we'll make it consistent. Sure. AWS.s3. New. Okay, yeah. Client config. It's like secret. Yeah, okay. Deprecated. Not great. Secret. Why is it deprecated? Why is it deprecated? So what do you need to config? Key? No, that's not good. This is all one big file, so access key secret. No. Authorize. No. Authenticate. No, it's the same three things. Okay. Let's not now set this up. So maybe I have to do it like clone it, set your access keys. Yeah. So this is about putting it in your .aws/credentials, which I don't really want to be doing. I really want credentials from... Right. You can load... Can I just set them? I mean, I probably will do these. I probably have those set on my own one. So look. I don't know how to do it without potentially leaking my stuff. So I'm going to assume that I have set that. So let's just assume that this has to be set. And secret access key. Cool. So we can just assume that that's magically set up from the environment. So let's see, can we upload? And what have we got? A put object request and options. So what's the first one? File, content disposition. Put object request. We need to upload put object request. So it's going to need an ACL, a body, which could be represented as a string, blob, readable. Okay, so we already have that as a string, so body's easy. So capital B. Thanks, Amazon. So weird. The body's going to be the readme. Cool. Bucket is also going to be there, so that's going to be env.bucket. Maybe I'll include env into one of these so we can do some work with it for dependency injection. What's this? Is bucket with a capital B. So bucket, yep. What else do you need? You need a file, and they call a file name a key. Yep, that's a string. So what is... Okay, so let's look at the database. For a rendered file name would look like this. Rendered summary, rendered readme. So an example of that would look like this. Cool. I wonder if they're still going to cocoadocs.org or if I just have an old reference. Right, next one. We need... So key needs to look like this, so... File path. I mean, they call it a key, but it's just let's be realistic here. So that's going to be the name of the pod. So pod would be under. Yep, we need the pod. Pod spec. Where's my pod spec? Node modules, too big. Types? Pod spec JSON, yeah. Probably just because it was not compiling. So this is now pod.name / pod.version readme.html. It's above me. HTML. Okay, what's the next complaint? String or undefined is not assignable to string. Well, that's just gonna need a bang on it, isn't it? There we go. Okay. So that will take the README and upload it to S3. So what's its response type? A managed upload, which is something that supports progress. Doesn't have a promise though. So it's a Xenable promise. Dot promise. It's a function. So wait. Yes, wait. Okay. We haven't set an AWS. I haven't set an AWS bucket. So maybe I'll cheat right now and just put it as. So what's this gonna do? This is gonna upload OS stack views, new README if it all works correctly. So this needs to just go to, yeah, let's have a look. Where's my Cyberduck? No. The new one. Fetch? No. Transmit. Okay, let's log in as me. Okay. CocoaDocs.org. Cool. No need for that anymore. Alright, let's try run it. Well, I mean, we're not going to actually see what happens. So, get README. Right, upload README. Now it doesn't work. So, you need to include a pod spec. Cool. Rerun, yeah. Let's also add a log that it finished. So this is before. That's not really the one that it is, but yeah, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Okay, let's get our stack views. So what version is this? No. It's not gonna work because that reference is incorrect. So I need to update this JSON. This JSON now needs to actually be commit. That commit isn't acceptable either. But it's taking all those versions from the pod. So as long as that, well, this will still work. That commit reference we can get rid of now, I feel. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we don't need to do that faffing anymore. So this reference can actually come from the pod spec. Then the version number of the pod spec, so it's pod.version maybe? Yeah. Cool. This means this doesn't need this, which means in our server we don't have to set it. The webhook, yeah, which purifies things a little bit. Okay, so that should all be hooked up. Yep. Okay, let's give it another go. Commit master doesn't matter now because that's not doing. Nothing happens with that. Okay. Access denied. This could be my AWS environment variables. Could not be. Not sure that I want to entirely verify it while we're on. Maybe I can just verify and try and remember to hide it. So what do we have? So I don't want to show those. The bucket's definitely correct. The key is definitely correct. So cocoadocs.org. Yep. Yeah. So that needs to be /docsets before. Yeah. Okay. So what's going on? This is an authorized access denied, which could be from our buddy. So let's try catch this and throw a debugger in here. Not good. Let's do the node inspect. Yep. Connected that up to this. Yeah, we're gonna go to this, and we're gonna ask you to send along some details. Okay. Error. Access denied. Definitely from AWS. Cool. So let's see what we can find out about S3 here. So it's config. This. I feel like it saw something about credentials. Yeah. Okay. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. Good. That's you don't get to see my entire secret access key. So this looks correct. It is possible that's not my access key for Auto. So let's see. I think if I do this, great. So that's Akai WKD. Where were we? We were on S3. So S3 config credentials. Yeah, it's definitely different. Okay, so I mean, I take that as a pretty safe bet that this is working okay. I mean, I'll need to change my environment variables, but I think that works. Okay. So that is a lot of code that I haven't wrote a test for, but at least it's well abstracted, so that when we choose to do that, that's definitely feasible. So this feels weird. Put it down there. That flows a bit better. I wish this would fit on one line, but needs to be. I think we need to make the bucket an environment variable. We need to validate that those are actually set. So I have a good pattern in Perl called the globals. It's just like a file that gives me access to global variables. We should have the exact same kind of thing. So if it's jest, it uses .env.sample, otherwise it does a normal one. We need to add .env. I bet this exists. .env. It's about get env. Bang it. Pull that an env var or a config file. Doesn't necessarily make sense in that in that case, but whatever. We had a list of things that we definitely had to do, so let's upload readme. So somewhere down, maybe at the bottom. Yep. So we have to have this. We have to have this, and we're gonna have to have this. Cool. don't need to worry about that, but we will need to worry about hooking all these up. So you're this and this, you're this and this, you're this and this. None of you are as optional as you think. So the S3 access key for loading readmes. Yeah, you can also be a one-liner. Cool. Same for you. Secret. Sure, I can kill that. The S3 bucket. Okay, so we need all you. Kill all of that. Don't need this. Don't need that. Don't need that. Cool. Thanks, Peril. It gives us a safe way to access the environment variables, so I can I don't actually have to do anything. It's not actually gonna be used. So AWS bucket will be used though, so do this. You can import it from here. Good. This can just go at the start of the index in source. You validate the environment. Let's import it. It's gonna fail now when I start using this, so this is now gonna have to have end thingy bucket equals cocoadocs.org. Do I have it still around? Nope. Cool. And that should now continue to run. Should pass. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. Next up, we're gonna need to deal with that. Cool. We have this. So that's pretty. I'm feeling pretty good about that. It's gonna take it. It's gonna upload it. Try catch. Let's console.log it, I think, rather than crash the server. Just do this. Just put it as a second parameter. Cool. Let's make it ignore it. Okay, so the validator validated that. Cool. That was really high level. That was pretty nice and easy. I should really start writing some tests for some of this stuff. So this one has a few little dependencies in here. See how I'm recording. And time flies. Okay. I'm gonna take a break. That was. Let's have a look at what we got done. Okay, so fixed a typo. Added a watch mode. We added a few more dependencies. I added a validator for the environment and made it so that the GitHub details would not include a branch anymore. The API is now created in its own function. Upload readme is its own function and actually works. We added AutoKit REST and .env, the iOS SDK, which added a few dependencies. But maybe there's... Yeah, it does look like a bunch of them are uniques. Shame, but yeah, so is life. We can check the count after, see if we hit 600. Okay, yeah, lots of new dependencies. Was there really that little amount of code? No. Was that all we did in an hour? Oh, right. I think all these new files don't count. So add support for uploading a readme to S3. Cool. Okay, so some already tests. and I feel guilty for that. But we have got all the way to the point where a webhook from trunk would trigger this service to upload a README to the place where it is expected by CocoaPods. Which all we need to do then is add like a database updater, and then we're done in terms of the minimum viable product. All right, ciao peeps.